Moin Lieben, herzlich willkommen bei Fidelity. Das Video, was ihr jetzt seht, ist auf Englisch gedreht und es wird 3 Teile davon geben. Es ist eine Interviewserie, die, wie ich finde, sehr, sehr schön geworden ist, mit sehr netten Gesprächen. Von daher wünsche ich euch viel Spaß dabei.
Bevor das Video losgeht, zeige ich euch noch einmal ganz kurz, wie ihr die automatischen Untertitel einstellen könnt. Da gibt es nämlich verschiedene Möglichkeiten und das ist gerade auf dem Desktop relativ tricky. Ihr könnt natürlich hier unten einfach die Untertitel anstellen. Dann seht ihr jetzt hier auch schon, sind die auf Englisch. Wenn ihr jetzt die automatische Übersetzung einschalten wollt und einen deutschen Untertitel haben möchtet, dann müsst ihr einfach hier auf das Zahnrad gehen, hier auf Untertitel Englisch automatisch erzeugt und dann könnt ihr hier automatisch übersetzen und Deutsch auswählen. Jetzt Deutsch auswählen, da Deutsch. Und dann seht ihr hier auch schon die Übersetzung. Da sind natürlich 1, 2 Fehler drin, aber ich denke, dass mit dem Ton auch dazu, mit dem Englischen, kann man da schon ganz gut folgen. Das ist auch wichtig, dass ihr das so macht, weil wenn ich jetzt hier den Untertitel ausschalte und ich gehe direkt auf das Zahnrad, auf Untertitel, dann kann man nur Englisch auswählen, da kann man dann Deutsch nicht auswählen. Deswegen, ihr müsst zuerst hier unten den Untertitel einschalten und dann Untertitel und dann könnt ihr die Sprache, beziehungsweise dann könnt ihr hier sogar jetzt das Deutsch schon vorausgewählt, weil ich das eben schon gemacht habe. Was natürlich auch geht, ist auf Untertitel hier gehen, hier den Untertitel einschalten, dann nochmal auf Untertitel gehen und dann hier automatisch übersetzen und Deutsch. So, ich zeige jetzt einmal schnell, wie das am Handy geht, beziehungsweise in der YouTube-App und dann hoffe ich, ihr habt Spaß mit dem Video. In der YouTube-App ist das Ganze ein bisschen einfacher, da, so ist es jetzt zumindest hier bei Apple, ist oben rechts, findet ihr auch das CC, also für Untertitel, da schaltet ihr den Untertitel an. Könnt dann auf das Zahnrad gehen, Untertitel, automatische Untertitel und dann die Sprache auswählen. Ihr könnt auch im Gegensatz zum Browser, könnt ihr auch direkt auf das Zahnrad gehen, auf Untertitel und dann auch da direkt auf automatische Untertitel, könnt direkt die Sprache auswählen. Also das ist etwas leichter. Ich hoffe, euch hat das geholfen und jetzt viel Spaß mit dem Video.
Hi Angus, thank you very much for visiting us at our concept store here in Hamburg at Fidelity. It's a big pleasure for us. Welcome. We are here just to talk a little bit about your career, your experience with Hi-Fi, your early steps in Hi-Fi, and of course later with your products, what you're offering the Hi-Fi world. If you like, just talk a little bit about what was your first music experience where you get like shivers or something like, yeah, music is something important for me and my life.
Yeah, thank you once again to invite me over here, I think, and it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, the stores is amazing. The first experience, I think I started listening to music when I was a kid, right? I mean, listen to pop music. But when I'm seriously into to look for the high fidelity sound is when I owned my first Walkman, like an MD Walkman. Yeah, it was ages ago. I mean, MD Walkman. And then I started collecting this, and then we do the copies. You know, for MD you have to transfer from the CD, you play it via the split diff, and then you record it on your MD. And I started trying different headphones. I mean, back in the days. And I can hear the differences between different headphones, the quality, the trebles, the mid, the bass, and that sort of thing. And then it comes to me that this is quite an interesting hobby. I want to listen to more. I mean, I can feel the music more when I'm using better headphones and better equipment. Yeah. And that is how I started around, I think, 11 or 12 years old.
Very nice. I remember I had under my bed, like in a place where I put some vinyl records from my father, and was a very nice experience. And I also liked when something is recorded very well. The little thing that catched me like was very interesting, and that was my experience where I thought, okay, music is something very special. Okay, what you're doing nowadays for the Hi-Fi world, what is your everyday life, job with Hi-Fi?
I am the founder of Westminster Lab. That's one of my company. And I'm currently working together alongside building my own company with Lumin. And I'm this global sales and marketing manager for Lumin. So I travel abroad, promote the products, and talk to music lovers like everyone here.
Yeah.
And just to enjoy music, I think.
Okay. Very nice. So you're living in Japan at the moment, or where are you based?
Lumin and also Westminster Lab is based in Hong Kong. So everything is done in Hong Kong, and of course I stayed in Hong Kong. But I used to study in the UK, so got a bit of influence from their educations and that sort of thing. And interestingly, I was actually trained as an architect. So it was quite a big deviation from what I have been trained to do professionally. But yeah, I think there are some skills or some philosophy which I can manage to transfer to the hi-fi world.
Okay. One thing I would like to know, you said that you started as an architect and then entered the hi-fi world. How does that come?
Well, as I said, I entered this audiophile hobby as an hobby.
Started as a hobby.
Started as a hobby in around the age of 12 and 13, and because I was still a student, so I actually wanted to build something. You know, I always want to experiment with different things, and I started looking at DIY kits that you can buy online. I started my own soldering, making phone amplifiers. Headphones amplifiers, that sort of thing. And then for some reason, I bumped into a friend, which on the forum. I went on the forum, I asked something that, I don't understand the schematics, is there anyone who can help? A friend of mine was on the forum, back in the days, of course, is a stranger, and he said, I can explain it to you, blah, blah, blah. You can come to my office and we can talk about it. I can show you something what can be done. And then actually he was the owner of a hi-fi equipment repair store. Okay. So customers bring the stuff there for equipment, for repair, upgrades and modification. Okay. So nice. I asked him, maybe I can help you out. I can learn and I can take some parts. I can build my own stuff. He said, why not? So pretty much every single summer holiday, I started working there as a apprentice, I would say. Yes. Okay. Yeah, apprentice. So I get to listen to a lot of well-known equipments like Mark Levinson, FM acoustics, gold mount, and it's started to improve my kind of knowledge. And I look at the schematics, how they do things, and then I got the idea of maybe I can build some cables for my friends and that sort of thing. So it was like a casual, you know, I can get you some cables, I can make you some this and that. And around 16, 17, 18, it's become something like a paid hobby, you know. Yeah. Okay. My friends, the friends of my friends say, "Oh, I would like something like that. I can pay you. I can buy you the materials, and I can buy you lunch so that you can do something like that for me." And then it started to become more like a business, a side business, I would say. I mean, it's a nice summer job. I mean, I think. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. And then it kept me busy for quite a few years, and then all of a sudden, I think maybe I can. Because people love our products. So this is the moment I started Westminster Lab, when I was studying in London. So hence the name, in a sense. And it was cables that we were focused on, to the story back in the days. And we push and push and push, and it's very difficult to get our names out there, because cables, you have so many brands of cables. And in the sea of cables, it's very difficult for customers to notice a newcomer, in a sense. So, and then we thought it would be a great idea. Maybe we can bring out some electronics, because the product is bigger, people will notice it, right?
Yeah.
All the cables are all hidden behind the system. Nobody knows, nobody asks, you know.
Yeah.
So because during the development of our cables, we actually use our own self-developed amplifiers.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so that was the moments that we think maybe we should bring out something new to the market. So we developed a lot of new ideas. The first product was unserem, so it's the number one, yeah, the class AB. And then we pioneered a lot of technology back then. I mean, dynamic bias, unified thermal design, and a lot of what I've learned from architecture actually influenced in that. And in terms of the mechanical design and also the styling, Bauhaus styling, the minimalistic design philosophy.
Very pleasing, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the outlook and also the schematics. And then we joined the high-end show in Germany as a newcomer.
In Munich. Yeah.
In Munich, yeah. And there, the first time I actually met the owner of one of the owners of Lumin.
Okay. Yes.
And the relationship begins here. So he said maybe we can exhibit together in Munich next year. And we co-exhibited for 2 years. It went very well with our electronics. Everybody loves it. The sound is amazing. And they asked me if I would like to help them up and to join the company and to give my efforts some input to Lumin products.
Okay.
So it was this moment that I changed my career.
Makes absolutely sense.
Yeah,
because is that what you love, what you're good at?
Yeah.
Do it as a profession. Absolutely
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I think I just love music so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Same
just
here.
yeah, I
Perfect.
just enjoy listening to music and talk to people about music and it always gets me when customers listen to our products and just have a big smile on face. This is what keeps us going every single day. Yeah.
We had like dinner yesterday, and I told you my experience with the Lumin and Westminster lab electronic, and I saw that you smiled because I had just such a good experience with your electronics, and I really believe that. Is there something you can like pinpoint? What is the most important about, like, let's talk about an amplifier? Is there something you say, okay, that's the hard or the most maybe hard way to design, or the challenging part of the design?
I think in the audio hi-fi world, I think if you're looking for the best and the best, this is what we always do, right?
Yeah.
Every day we want to try to push more. It's very difficult to pinpoint a single factor or single matter within this story to find out which one is the most important factor. Because I think if we're looking at the best, if you're pursuing the best, every single bit counts. So it's the whole picture
product.
in a sense.
Okay.
It's like I always use the analogy building an audio system or any audio equipment. It's like cooking.
Okay.
There isn't an ingredient which is the most important. I mean,
True.
if you take the steak, of course the meat is going to be important, but how you cook it, how you prep it, the seasoning,
of course, yes.
the presentation, the timing, everything counts.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Of course, it's the whole experience. It's even how you enter the restaurant is very important for the whole experience.
Yeah.
And if the candle is burning, like, okay, absolutely agreeing.
Yeah. You can only go to certain distance. I mean, if you focus on something else. I mean, sometimes, for me, I mean, even as an architect, we learn to take a step back and look at the whole picture and see whether the whole thing just coherents. And it works so far pretty good. Yeah.
Is there something like, do you have an experience where you said, okay, I listened to a system and it was something that you never heard in another system? In my experience, it was like I had scenarios where I said, okay, I never heard like that before. It was like when I'm 16 I had my first very reference headphone, and I experienced the music on a new way. It was like a journey. I start from the beginning. Do you had experience in your life where you said, okay, now it's music in a whole different presentation? Do you experience something?
I think I had this moment for quite a few times. I mean, of course, the first time I've listened to a Highland system is when I was, I think, 15, when I visited my father's brother. So he was an audiophile, actually. So he had a complete set of Macintosh back in the days with the Bowers & Wilkins, I think it's 802S3 speakers. So pretty high-end back in the days. And he demonstrated the system with some classical music, and I was hugely impressed. I mean, in terms of the sound pressure, the details. You close your eyes, you can feel the whole orchestra in front of you. So that was kind of like the eureka moment for me.
Okay, nice. I think in the orchestra, the details are so important.
Yeah.
Is there a genre you like to listen the most, or you like every kind of music?
Yes, actually, I'm pretty open to all kinds of music. I mean, from hip hop to jazz, classical, EDM.
There's so much good music out there.
There's so much good music out there, and as a profession, I mean, in this field, as a person working in this field, it's also important for us to listen to all sorts of music from different countries, so that we can get the system. Because our target audience is always the worldwide audience, so we need to try our equipments with the music that our customers is going to play. And
yeah, makes totally sense. When we talk about like preamps or amplifiers, do you think that someday it will be the best amplifier, or what is the next big stage for an amplifier? They are so good nowadays. I listen to your amplifiers; they are stunning. But what would be the next step in, like, say, 20 years? You have an idea, or like an utopia?
Yeah, well, to be honest, it's very difficult to predict in the future, because you know, the technology of transistors and materiology, it improves a lot. I mean, if you look at the transistor that we have available today, and if you look at the transistor that we were in, I mean, 30 years ago or maybe 20 years ago, the linearity, the noise, and everything is just another world. Yeah. It's very difficult to predict what's going to happen in the future. But what I can see is very exciting. I mean, in terms of the music side, we have high definition streaming now getting more and more popular. Yeah. We have different technologies like MQA, and vinyl is coming back with a lot of analog recording. And now actually quite a lot of modern artists has gone back to analog mixing and recording. I mean, there's trends coming. So I think, in terms of boldface, it's quite a bright future, I think.
I think so as well. I experienced with my friends, because of Apple Music, such a big player in the global industry, is giving the audience high-res audio. So even my friends who are not into music or audiophile, like we are, also enjoying high-res. That's a huge step and a very nice good point for the music and for the audiophile world. If you like, let's talk a little bit about cables, because I know for our viewers, or maybe a lot of people, it would be interesting. What is the importance of cables in a hi-fi audiophile system?
I always say that a cable is the veins within our body. If you think about the length from your source to all the way to your speakers, the cable is the majority of the distance. I mean, think about the signal path within the units, the electronics. It may be 10 or 20 centimeters or 30 centimeters. But in terms of the delivery is important. I mean, you can have the brain of Einstein or the heart of the best athletes in the world, but if you have bad veins, that's no good. I mean, you need the blood to keep the things flowing. You need the power. Everything is about delivery.
Yeah.
And what you hear is actually the electrons,
Yeah.
whether they can deliver it to the speakers at the best quality or without any degradation is important. And cable is a science in a sense. I mean, you can measure the impedance, you can measure the resistance, capacitance, and together with the system is actually, it is part of the system. I mean,
Yes.
if you can think the cable as a part of a component because it has a resistance and capacitance and impedance. So it's a crucial part within the system. And there are a lot of cases where the cables are the Achilles heels within the speaker, within the system, the weakest link.
Okay. Is there, could you like pinpoint one cable as the most important, or do you say look at cables in a system, or could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for a system, I think the most important cable, or the ones that most audiophiles should upgrade or should invest more time and money in, is the speaker cables.
Okay, yes.
Because the speaker cables it has a very strong relationship with the loudspeaker and also the amplifier. And the physical characteristics or measurable characteristics of the speaker cables actually affects a lot of parameters of the amplifiers. So the damping factor, output impedance is a direct relationship. It has a direct relationship with the speaker cables. So,
okay, yes, makes absolutely sense, and that's my experience as well. If you try something in our shop, it's absolutely the speaker cable that's very important to match the synergy in the whole system. If you like, we could talk a little bit about the company Lumin. We have a Lumin setup where the T3 sits, in my opinion, right in the sweet spot. It's the best performance for the money, for me, in my opinion. But there's the X1 as well, who's more than double the price. Why is the X1 such a unique and special unit?
the X1 was his flagship product that we wanted to cement Lumin in the high-end streaming world. I mean, Lumin was one of the first company, actually it was the first company to introduce DSD playback to the streaming society. And over the years we pioneer this technology, we push different technologies in, and we are, as an example, we are one of the first streamers to be certified by the MQA to support MQA technology. So we always find the best to bring it to our customers. And the X1 has quite a lot of technologies that we long dreamt to be included. Let's say the optical network, which I think is the first mainstream network streamer to have optical networks. And with the dual ESS 38 DAC chip that we have, and the lunar output transformer, and the femto clock inside. The clock system is one of the best you can buy in the world. It is completely, it redefines the quality that most streamers you can buy on the market. And the power supply that we've designed for it is ultra low noise compared to the T3. So the sound speaks for itself, I think.
Absolutely, it's my experience as well. Let's talk a little bit about the optical part for users that don't experience it or never used it. How does it work? Why is it a nice way on the X1 and a huge step up?
For most of the streamers, they use copper LAN cable to connect your network modem or network router to the streamers. That actually brings the noise from your network devices to your audio streamers, because we have the copper connections, right? And of course, you can improve the power supply and also the routers in order to tackle this or improve the situation of the noise. But we think the optical isolation will be the best solution, because with optical technology, there isn't a physical or mechanical connection. Yes, exactly. Yeah. The whole electronic system is being isolated. Yeah. So you get clean network signal, I mean, from your network router to your audio system. And quite a lot of audiophiles actually come back to us and say, this is a very good technology, and the sound actually improves a lot.
Yeah, we get that feedback from our customers as well. We try to push them and to try it out and make our own decision, of course. But the feedback we get is, like you said, it's an improvement, and it's absolutely, go for it, try it out. Of course, the X1 has the separate power supply.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Why is power supply such an improvement for the sound quality?
Everything comes from the power, right? I mean, the sound that we hear are actually electronic signals. And to have a clean, low noise power supply is crucial, because with the noise that you have, the distortion will be higher, it's measurable, and you get less details. Power supply design is actually one of the most important factors to electronics. I mean, even for measurable equipments like oscilloscope design.
Yes.
So especially for audio equipments, because the signal is very small, and they are always very sensitive to minute noise that you have from the power supply or even from the ground.
If you like, I would love, it's in personal interest, what is your opinion about headphones? For me, I use both. At home I have an audiophile system, but the headphone experience is something completely different, and adds something. It's like if we talk about food, it's meat and fish, and both are like so nice, so enjoyable. What is your experience with headphones?
I think I started off with headphones, and I'm still very much into headphones. And I think I have the same approach as you. I mean, it's a different interpretation to the music, I think. And headphones sometimes can be quite, because it's very close. You feel you're very close to the music, and I think it works very well with some kind of music, like vocals, or maybe some solos, instrumental solos, and even electronic music. It's just, you feel like you're soaked within the music.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I think there isn't a way that is more superior. I wouldn't say the speakers is better than headphones, or headphones speaker. It's just two ways of enjoying it. It's like, or I would say it's like having fish. You have a pan fried, or you can have sashimi. I mean, absolutely, both of them is great. Yeah. I mean, as long as the fish is there, if you love fish, you should try it both, I think.
And after that, you're not hungry. And after listening to music, the sun is shined again. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Okay, if you like, in my opinion, a very interesting topic is like room acoustics. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, okay, sure. Nice. We did talk about it yesterday, so...
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. And my question was, what is your RT60 in your room, or in your demoing room, where you demo your products? You said 200 milliseconds?
200 to 300 around.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What is your opinion about room acoustics? How important are they? And it's a big, huge topic, but if you like to talk about it a little bit, would be very interesting.
I think room acoustic is certainly a very important factor, because the room in a sense is like the big speaker cabinet, and you're within there. And room coupling between the room size, the room mode, and also the speakers selection, and also the form of the speakers comes from is important. Yeah. I mean, a very good example is if you have a room which is, I don't know, 200, 300 meters square, with very tall ceilings, you need a horn for the efficiencies. I mean, dynamic drivers is not suitable.
No.
And if you have a small rooms, like maybe 20 meters square, you don't go for a horn technology because you're too close. And then you don't need the high sensitivities. So I think that is a very crucial point, factor to consider between your room and the speaker. But I don't want a lot of audiophiles to be put off, you know, oh, my place is very small, I don't have proper room acoustics, I won't enjoy the system. I don't agree on that. Of course, you can't enjoy every single bit of the system, but you can still enjoy the system. It's like driving a Ferrari around the town. Of course, you can't enjoy all of it. I mean,
yeah, good comparison.
but exactly, but you enjoy part of it.
It's true.
You still have a very nice cabin. The design is lovely.
Yeah.
The horsepower is there. You can enjoy the sound of the engine. So, room acoustics is a process, I will also say.
Yes, absolutely.
When you have the system, and then you kind of sense what the room is telling you. You know, I have some problem here. Maybe you can do this.
Yeah.
After you do this, maybe you do that. And it's an ongoing journey, because the living room or the room that your system live in may change. You know, throughout the years, you have new furniture, you do the layout. It can be very problematic, of course, but it's a journey, I think, that audiophiles has to go through, and
absolutely,
and don't be afraid of it.
Absolutely, that's my opinion as well. My journey with room acoustics started when I go to a dealer. I wanted to buy my first absorber, and I asked him, okay, which one should I buy? And he said, you will not buy an absorber today, you will buy this book. And it was Andreas Friesike, Studio Acoustics, and he made everything right, because I bought the book and it was overwhelming, but so much information about the whole process of room acoustics. It helped me a lot. So it's not that you can say, okay, you buy this and then your room is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's a journey. You have to start somewhere, and I'm learning still today some new things, and it's a new process. But till we are in Hamburg and talking about room acoustics, you had the chance to visit the Elbphilharmonie yet?
Not yet.
You need to. You need
Yeah.
to. It's an absolutely pleasure. It's an amazing sounding room. When you're in the big room, it's like stunning. You have the diffuser everywhere, and I had the chance to listen to a few symphony orchestras and an organ solo piece. If you're a music lover, I recommend you highly to visit the Elbphilharmonie here in Hamburg. It's very, very nice.
It will be in my bucket list next time.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would love to go there with you, and we can book a concert. It would be a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for joining us, Angus. It was a pleasure to talk with you. And there are upcoming videos about Westminster Lab Electronics and about Lumin, the company, with you as well, Angus. Once again, thank you very, very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.